Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Sandra Martell, the Public Health Administrator for Winnebago County, and today I'm joined by Mayor Tom McNamara of the City of Rockford. Today we kind of talk about fighting the pandemic from multiple fronts. We've been in this 9, almost 10 months now, but there's multiple actions and strategies being taken. So you've all been working on the social mitigations about the community and the individual levels to reduce the transmission of the virus. Collectively, those actions have had an impact. It has taken 6 weeks to see the impact, but we've seen it. Reduced positivity. On November 12th, our 7-day rolling average peaked at 20.7%. Today, our 7-day rolling average is at 10%. We're reporting decreasing numbers of infections. November 6th, we reported 619 new cases. December 22nd, we're reporting 171 cases. Decreased hospitalizations for COVID-19. On November 9th, our 3 hospital systems reported that they had 191 patients hospitalized for COVID-19. And on November 10th, we were requesting additional beds. December 22nd, yesterday, they were reporting 117 patients hospitalized with COVID-19. So those social mitigations in combination are having an impact. Front number 2 is testing for early identification of cases for quarantine and isolation. The testing site at the University of Illinois Health Sciences campus on Parkview will be closed on December 25th, Christmas Day, and January 1st, New Year's Day, but it will operate routinely on all other days. That test site will also be relocating to expand capacity on January 2nd to our formerly Kmart site at 1321 Sandy Hollow Road. The hours of operation will be the same, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 7 days a week, but they expand the capacity there. Stay tuned for more updates. But please continue to pre-register through Test Directly, testdirectly.com. This will expedite your testing experience and increase the accuracy. We've also seen our community adopt and start implementing the Binax Now rapid antigen testing on a larger scale. So in front number 2, we have increased capacity and access to testing. Front number 3 is contact tracing. Our contact tracing team continues to identify close contacts for quarantine and isolation. Front number 4 is expansion of treatment to individuals diagnosed with COVID-19 with monoclonal antibodies and convalescent plasma to reduce hospitalizations and complications. And front number 5 was vaccination. Vaccination started with Phase 1A healthcare workers is continuing over the holiday week. I think most of us have all heard earlier that over 100,000 Phase 1 healthcare workers have been vaccinated in the state of Illinois as of December 23rd today. And of all 50 states, Illinois has administered the highest number of doses to its healthcare workers. Winnebago County Hospital Partners vaccinated 5,146 Phase 1A healthcare workers in its initial vaccination effort. And next week, pharmacy partners CVS and Walgreens will start vaccinating our long-term care facility residents and their staff. So when we talk about this pandemic, when we started this pandemic, we maybe had testing. We now have the social mitigations, we have the expanded testing, we have contact tracing, we have expansion of treatment and vaccination. So we have things to be hopeful for as we start the new year. But having said that, we are still having new cases. Today we're reporting 171 new cases, and they're aged 3 years to 100 years. And our total cases to date are over 22,000. Our test positivity 7-day rolling average is under 10% at 9.3%. But unfortunately, deaths often lag. 7 additional residents of our community lost their life to COVID-19. Our condolences are extended to all of those families. It is particularly difficult during a holiday season to recognize the loss of our community residents. We mourn their loss with them. And that brings our total deaths in Winnebago County to 336. Our recovery rate is 98%. So as we kind of come into the holidays, it's difficult. We need to continue to be vigilant over the holidays to prevent the transmission from all of those fronts. You need to continue to minimize contacts with others outside of your household. Celebrate at home as much as possible. Celebrate virtually with those outside of your household. Continue to support our local businesses and order carry-out for your holiday meals. Wear your face covering when it's outside of your home. Work remotely as much as possible. And stay home if you are sick. The Winnebago County Health Department will be working over the holiday break, with the exception of Christmas Day, for contact tracing, vaccination efforts, and enforcement activities. But the hotline will be taking a break and resume on Monday. On behalf of the Winnebago County Health Department and the Winnebago County Board of Health, we wish all our community a healthy, hopeful holiday season. And with that, I will turn it over to Mayor McNamara.
Thank you, Dr. Martell. And as I do each one of these, I want to say thank you to you for your leadership, but I think it's important that all of us in the county take an extra second and just applaud Dr. Martell. When you look at this year, I can guarantee you she did not think her and her team would be going through a pandemic on January 1st. And you've helped lead our community through it with tremendous professionalism and a whole lot of compassion. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the citizens of Rockford for your leadership during these difficult times. So locally, on a different note, we are encouraged. We're continuing to see lower positivity rates, as Dr. Martell said. We're now at about 9.3%, and we are seeing fewer new cases overall. Our hospitals are seeing a slight decline in patients and that they're treating for COVID-19. And as Dr. Martell just mentioned, we also saw some really wonderful news now that more than 5,000 of our healthcare workers, who you have to say are some of the hardest working heroes that we've seen throughout this entire pandemic, have now received their first round of vaccine. And more vaccines are on their way to Illinois and to our region. We may finally see that light at the end of the tunnel that we've been talking about, but yet it's still quite a ways away. As Dr. Martell mentioned, we need to continue to be vigilant, and I don't think we need any more of a stark reminder of why we need to be vigilant than hearing the news, really sad news, of 7 more families losing a loved one. Please continue to be vigilant. As we begin to celebrate Christmas and the New Year's over the next couple of days, I want to say a sincere thank you to those who have taken the really difficult measure of canceling their plans and their get-togethers with families and with their family and their friends. Those who have put aside their typical annual traditions so that others in our community can remain safe. Thank you to those who have sacrificed personally so that all of us collectively as a community can be healthier. I know personally how hard that is, and I sincerely appreciate it. Maybe you're seeing others during this time, still traveling, still gathering with their friends and families. I just want to say you have made the right choice. And although it's a very difficult choice, but you have certainly made the right choice, not just for yourself and your family, but for our broader community. I want to again just say thank you. I'll just close quickly by saying a sincere thank you. I've thanked Dr. Martell, but behind Dr. Martell is really some amazing people at Winnebago County Health Department, at the Emergency Operations Center, at all of our local health systems who have helped lead us during these really difficult 9 months. So just a sincere thank you to all of them and all of our frontline workers. The small sacrifices that you at home are making are really starting now to show some dividends for us as a community, and we are beginning to kind of, as I mentioned earlier, see that light at the end of the tunnel and see that finish line that we've long sought after. So looking ahead to 2021, there are certainly brighter, happier, better days for our community, Winnebago County, and our regions. So let's continue to be smart. Let's continue to take care of one another, continue to check in on one another, especially our senior residents in our community during this difficult time, and say an extra prayer for the hundreds of families who now will have that empty seat at their table during this really difficult holiday season. With that, on behalf of myself and the City of Rockford, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we would take questions at this time.
Dr. Martell, did you say beginning